Hello and welcome back. I am so glad that you are here because it is Tuesday Newsday. I love the news. If it is looked at the right way, it can be an amazing resource. There can be so many negative stories, but I am not talking about these kinds of things. What I am talking about is the good stuff. I'm talking about the new discoveries and happy events with wonderful outcomes. So let me look and see what we got here today. But wait, before we get there, I have to teach you what motivation means. Because so many articles that are so amazing in the news is all based on motivation. Things that make you want to go out and be better than you were the day before. Like we have always been preaching, to always empower, to uplift, and to enlighten other people. You can do the same thing through news articles, but you have to know what you are looking for. Before we get there, I have to teach you what motivation means. Before I tell you though, do you know what motivation means? That is pretty good. You're really smart. But I already knew that, of course, because we have been through lots of journeys already. But I want to tell you what Mr. Webster says motivation means. Motivation, according to Mr. Webster, says having an incentive or a strong desire to do well or succeed in some pursuit. Now, that is exactly what the news articles we are going to cover today is about. It's about the pursuit to get something that you want. Something that you want so bad that you will put everything into it or have a strong desire to try to become the best or to make something happen. So, these news articles are people that want to make things happen. They want to see things that they're working really hard on come to light and be the most amazing thing that they could ever accomplish. Now, all of these people had so much motivation that they made something so awesome that they were able to make a huge change. We don't know what their incentive was, but maybe it was the pay, but I would bet that it really wasn't that. It was that they wanted the project to be a success. So they continued to push until they were able to try it out. They are probably still pushing out all the hard work that they are doing today, what they were doing years ago, that they are still today to make the project perfect. Because just because they have to hit the news does not mean they are done working. It just means that they have got to the point to where us, the public, that they are okay to let us, the public, know what they are talking about and what they are doing. So, do you remember a time when you wanted to do something? When you wanted to do it so bad that you just had to get it done? It didn't matter what stood in your way. You were bound and determined or motivated to get that thing done. Please, tell me a couple things that you were so motivated to do that you did not let nothing get in your way. Remember, now this may be very hard, but I want you to look back and I want you to try very hard to try and remember what that thing was that made you want to get that whatever you just said done so badly that you did not let nothing stand in your way. Let me give you some hints, just in case you're having a little bit of trouble. Maybe it was at the plays, maybe like when you were told to cut the grass, and you might not be internally motivated to want to go and cut the grass, but maybe your mommy or daddy said, hey, if you go to cut the grass, then I will pay you a certain amount of money. That certain amount of money maybe be able to turn into certain different things, like maybe a certain toy that you wanted. So that would be a motivator to get you motivated to want to do something that you wanted to do. So now, think really hard. The true reason why you wanted to get whatever you were doing done. Then just tell me one or more things that you have come up with. If you don't mind, of course. Those are some wonderful, amazing reasons. I knew you had some amazing reasons because you are just an amazing human being. What can I say? You probably got to be one of the most amazing human beings down on earth right now. But anyways, so we will go more into like reasons and things like that in later lessons, and we'll be able to, bring it down and break it down and describe, why these reasons may be why you are so motivated. But right now, we have to look at some news articles, like I promised. We have to find like a good article, because like I was telling you, there are lots of trends to focus on the negative. to focusing on the negative. People likes to focus on negative. So when you read the newspaper, it makes newspaper companies lots of money to focus on the negative things that are happening in the world. So in the newspaper's job is to make money. So if negative stories bring in lots of money, that is exactly what the newspaper company is going to do, unfortunately. Alright, I'm just taking a look here. I'm just looking through some articles and some things, looking for online articles and maybe newspaper articles. Let me see what's been happening lately. Alright, these are some good news. This is some good news. Oh yes, so here it says in Chicago in America, where probably you may or may not live, is making a stride in the right direction. They have started and run their first microgrid power plant. This power plant is ran by solar panels and other technologies to keep the power flowing. So this is some very good news for the people in Chicago. No more going without power for around 1,000 homes, because it is able to pick up where the old system has left off. So this is not just good news for the people in Chicago, this is good news for people everywhere, because that means they are working on this technology and they're going to have it ready, but they keep doing more and more research, and it will be able to expand to other parts of the United States, and then later on will expand to other places in the world which are probably already working on other technologies themselves. Could you imagine being one of those people that discovered this great technology and was able to put it into place? The feeling you would be having. Your invention is in the paper. You are helping to change the world. That is true motivation. I bet you have some awesome things you have accomplished as well. Can you tell me some of those? Just a pure genius, that's what you are. Now, when your guardian came up to you and told you good job, did that make you feel like you wanted to do it again and again and again? Isn't that feeling just amazing? Now that is what we call motivation. The motivation to want to do it again. And the motivation to do it even though things get hard. But that being said, do you think that the engineers or the people who, worked on the power plant, do you think that they are more or less motivated to want to build up more of these systems to maybe cover all of Chicago, and maybe farther and farther and farther, and maybe the whole United States, and then the world, and then who knows where? Maybe we get to the moon with these amazing minds that we have working on this amazing technology. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent and I didn't give you a chance to answer. So, do you think that these engineers will be more or less motivated to build more and more of these systems? Do you feel like this would be good or bad to build more of these solar paneled places that will save the environment? Me voo. So let's see. What else do we have here? I know I can at least find one more article that I would love to share with you. I've been reading this whole paper this morning and I came across some interesting things that I wanted to show you, because I knew that I would have a limited amount of time, because I know that you are very busy. But here it is. I got it right here. So in Detroit, it's right above Indiana, in a state called Michigan in America. And so they have designed the first public EV load to wirelessly charge electric vehicles. So say you're just driving along and your car will be charged as you drive along this load. I think that is amazing, unless it causes traffic jams because people want to slow down and want to charge their vehicle. Maybe there will be like parking spots or things like that. Now, them are probably all things that would have to be worked out before this idea fully became into play in the real world. But it seems like they got most of them worked out, because the article did say that they were ready to go. So, if you were the mommy and daddy of any of these people that were on either of these teams, how do you think that you would be feeling? Do you think that you would be feeling happy, excited, more motivated to help your son or your daughter be more motivated? What do you think? I would be too. We have so much in common. It is crazy. Imagine if it was like a friend, and they was like, hey, I discovered how to make a road that charges cars. How amazing would that be? This would, we have to encourage and want people to become better, and better. Because with people being around us that are better, then it makes us better. So that is something that we always have to strive for. Not to only make us better, but to make the people around us better. Because when we do this kind of thing, it just makes the whole world better. And when the world is better, and then it's better for everybody to be able to live. I admit that staying motivated can be hard, but we need to work on this every single day. Not just for ourselves, but for everybody around us. The more people that we have around us, the easier that it can be, because they can help us stay motivated when we are down, and we can help them stay motivated when they are down. Alright, so this is the lesson for today. I still have a lot more studying before we go much farther, but I hope you know that motivation is and how to find it in the everyday world through like news articles and things like that. As we continue on, we're going to be looking at how motivation affects us, how it makes us feel, so that we can recoup that feeling and know how either amazing it makes us feel or when we get demotivated and how sad it make us feel and not make us want to do anything, even the things that we love to do. So, like I said, this is our lesson for today because I personally have more research to do so that I can teach you and make you be a more amazing and awesome human being than you already are. So, if you wouldn't mind, remember to empower, uplift, and enlighten. Have a good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for being my very best friend. I don't know where I would be without you. Have a great night, little human.